sync action.
Sync it up, dude.
Welcome to the cast.
Are you paying attention?
Damn. It's been a minute.
I don't think we've done a solo episode. Well, we haven't done a podcast in like over a month.
True. Yeah, the last one we released was with JJ, and that feels like a while ago.
I think that was over a month that we recorded that one. This one we're planning on having even more technical issues if you guys liked the last episode.
Yes. Yeah. Trying to set this camera off. I just shattered glass, and it was fucking metal.
It was the most Jewish thing you've done so far. It was super like you were just about to get married. It sounded like it was like a wedding. It's like, Mazel tov. It was.
That's almost more Jewish, breaking the glass, trying to make content.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm married to the game. Yo, maybe that's what just happened. You just married the game.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
I think that's fair to say.
Speaking of Jews, I just got dumped off on a train here on the way here. Dude, have you ever been on a Paco and they just turn it off?
Not when they turned it off.
Yeah, we got. What's even weirder? Because I was like, looking at it as we were pulling up to the Woodcrest station or the whatever. I forget which station I was at. At this point, but like I'm like, something feels weird about. Like, I'm like, what if it just flipped over and I died? Like, I feel like, I'm like, would I be able to get out of this window, climb to the other side, and get out of the door while this train fell to its death? And then we pulled up to the next station, and then they were just like, everybody get off.
Damn.
It's shut down.
Wait,
like,
so why, speaking of Jews?
Trains, Jews go.
Oh, Holocaust trains.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought you were like, speaking of Jews, I had this huge inconvenience.
Yeah, it was some Jew jumped in front of the train. It was like, no. No, nothing, no personal mishaps with Jews, just Jews and trains in general.
I feel that. I'm not necessarily on trains, but in cars, I'm getting ready for a crash. Like I've been
gearing up.
I've been in a car with people where, they're drunk and they're driving.
Oh, I know that.
And and I could tell it's getting a little hairy. So I'll sink down in a certain way where like for some reason I believe that if I like curl up and do this.
Right, that's like the opposite of what they always say in car accidents of why people get injured and why they don't. It's like literally what they say first is like, yeah, you're not supposed to tense up. So you're already so you're literally just driving tensed up the entire time.
That makes sense. I think I have like a weird thing where I feel like I'm gonna like break my chest.
I feel like you're
like if it's like super high impact. So I'm like, if I like go sideways, it just hits my shoulder.
The iron
because
shoulder.
Think about it. When you tackle someone, you don't tackle them just like tits out. You tackle them like this, like with your shoulder.
Right. Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was thinking.
I think you're subconsciously turning into a cannonball. You're just like I'm just You just want to get if you get shot out of the window, out of the windshield, you want to like go into the next car like a fucking pirate.
Yeah.
Just like shoulder first, just busted.
Local Jew fucking decks car.
Yeah, you get hit by all right, so the car hits a tree. You get propelled out through the windshield into another car.
Well, I also think about, too, if we're going to go in the woods, I'm going to duck because I don't want a branch coming in impaling me.
Oh,
so I'm like, I'm going to go down.
Right, yeah, you got to go take the lower the lower battle, that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. At least you're gearing up for it, I think you're supposed to do the opposite, though. I'm pretty certain, like, I think, like, I'm remembering Due Date. He's like, everyone gets, when that car accident, which I'm basing all of my facts are from movies, they fall off the bridge and everyone gets hurt besides whoever Zach Galifianakis' character is because he was asleep. And everybody else tense. So I don't know what happens, but apparently when you tense up, your body just gets fucked up.
Well, they're tensing up the wrong way, dude. I'm talking about fucking hitting this crash with my shoulder.
Right. You're not.
Do you see the logic there, though?
No, I know what you're talking about. You're not tensing up like in a scared way. You're preparing. You're Boy Scouting the tension.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like you're going to be a weapon. You're weaponizing yourself.
Yes.
To save yourself, which
because whenever I want to do the most damage to someone but not hurt myself, I always hit them with the shoulder.
Right. No, because that's you could take a lot of pain on the shoulder. unless you dislocate it. But even when you dislocate it,
Go
I feel
on,
like
brush
it's
your
not-
shoulders off. That would be sick. Just like a family dies and you're just in slow motion to that song, and you're just like,
I had a dream the other night that made me, when you said that, it made me think about the dream. But when you like go and brush your shoulders off, I was just picturing somebody like going to brush their shoulder and literally and just flinging it off, like their entire
the
arm.
whole shoulder.
I had a dream the other night, like a few weeks ago. I sneezed and I sneezed all my teeth out. It was
Whoa.
I just and just they all fell out, and I was like, "Where'd your teeth go?" I'm like, "No, I just sneezed them out," and they all ran away. They're like, "Ah!" I'm like, "No."
The tooth fairy just crushes them up and snorts them.
Yeah, that dude. It was the scariest amount of dreams. Like I had such like sleep paralysis inside of Inception, inside of like another dream, inside of like 3 other dreams. It was wild because every time I'd wake up, it'd be someone like weird in the room that I'd be like, oh yeah, that's my dragon's always in the room. You know how everyone's like, but then you wake up, you're like, that's real. This is real. It just got exhausting. I just couldn't face as many dream demons as I had to.
Dreams are weird as fuck because you realize how weird you are. Like it's hard to like go into work when literally like an hour ago there was just a dude in your face going, "Hi, ma'am."
Yeah.
And then you have to be like, yes, I'll take care of that account.
Right. Yeah. And then you go from a ridiculous world, and then you're in this one, and you're like, why is this one? Because I swore to God, the last world I was just in was legit. How do I know this one isn't? It's enough to make you go insane.
It is.
Like, a little bit. Like if you lose as much like the reality based, and you go into more of a dream like type of reality, like you can do that from like smoking or not getting enough sleep, because that when you're not really recharging some of the shit that you need to recharge when you sleep, then you kind of just stay in slight dream mode. So less and less is reality like understood or comprehended maybe.
Yeah. Well, they say a lot of people write in the morning because that's the closest you are to your true self.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Biggest actually, I'm just kind of, I don't know. How would you describe yourself in the morning? What kind of morning person are you?
In the morning, I'm a morning person.
Yeah.
I like the morning way more than the night. Like, I realized I don't like performing at night at bars.
I just realized I hate comedy.
Like I like the performing aspect, and
No.
and like especially like at Mike's or the Raven, I love everyone there, but just being in a group at a bar, I don't like it at all. And I'm like, oh, of course I'm getting drunk for this.
Yeah, because that's what you do at the bar.
Yeah.
You know what? I think the pandemic helped me realize that too. It's like, like a lot of the times I don't want to go do stand up. It's not that I don't want to go do stand up. It's that I don't feel like going to, like, there's a certain energy you have to match when you go to bars, which is kind of nice now because I don't think it's as high. Like, we went to a bar the other day at Rax in fucking Atco, which is supposed to be like all these hicks and shit. They're now, it's like Starbucks. It's like a bunch of rednecks doing, like, they're, instead of like having a coffee, they're getting shit faced and like doing their taxes or whatever the fuck meth addicts do on laptops.
Yeah.
But that's what they're doing there. And it's it's the energy has changed because you, like, usually when you go into a bar, you bopping around and stuff, you know, you like, it's like a big swimming pool of drunk idiots, and like that's the energy in the bar. You have to bring that, otherwise you get left in the dust. But now you can kind of go and chill a little bit, so it's not as bad. But now it's kind of just the idea of going out is heightened in itself.
Yeah, and it started to cool down now, but right when Mike started opening up around here, a bunch of crazy shit started happening, and I think it's because of 2 reasons. I wish.
Okay.
There were just like people wilding.
Oh, right.
I think it's 2 reasons. People are very excited to be out, so they're getting super hammered.
Yeah.
And people haven't been social as much, so their social anxiety is peaked, so they're drinking more.
Oh, shit. Yeah, so they're leaning on that crutch a little bit more, and that thing might snap. That's what happened to me. But also I would do that anyway. On Saturday, I did Beer Olympics, and I went as Indonesia, and I woke up.
I did the shot put.
No, well, I did. It wasn't one of the competitions, but I did it. Last thing I remember, like, I woke up as Poland. I went as Indonesia. I woke up in the full Poland. This chain it's feel it. It's a fucking real chain.
Damn.
This is whoever Poland was. I remember the last thing I remember was trying to undercover Poland or something. I don't know what, but all of a sudden I remember getting hit in the face with an egg by Sweden, and I grabbed their flag and I threw that on the roof of the house, which, that might be just my normal when I'm at Beer Olympics behavior, or it might have been a little hyped because I haven't seen all these people in a while, and I want to get hammered at Beer Olympics and show them what I can do. And only the thing is that what I can do is destructive.
Yeah.
And ruins everyone's good time.
I feel that. I come with a similar energy, but more the social anxiety route.
Right. So, like, what do you mean? Like, what's something that you worry about when you're going out with the social?
Not being on at all times.
Yeah.
I think when I come in, I'm usually just in a daze because I'm just chilling in this room, and then I come. And then I go there.
Ew. Rob, you can't. It's a public podcast, man. People are going to listen to this. They're going to, know you. Ew,
I can't.
Man, dude.
But,
is there nothing private anymore?
I tried the mic to gulp.
Yeah, no, I think they would be able to hear that.
Yes. But, I don't know. I'm not necessarily hilarious when I'm just hanging out, because it takes a lot of mental energy for me to be on.
Right. No, I know what you're talking about. It does. It's like trying to get up like a hill when it's snowy. It's like you need to be going pretty quick already in order to get up that hill without starting the wheels start to skid. You're like
Exactly.
But the thing is, though, if you take that hill normally, going like a normal speed, you'll still be able to get up that hill. And I think that kind of relates to that. When you're like, oh, fuck, I got to be on, then all of a sudden it throws a wrench in the equation. You're like, and now you're second guessing yourself. Because there is something hilarious. Like when you're on, so that's just whatever. You're going to be rolling with the punches and saying funny shit. But if you're in like a place of being relaxed and you're like, I'm not on right now, but like next thing you know, something can fly your way and you're like, oh, yeah, now I'm on. It's like a hacky sack, dude. Someone hit you the thing, and then you're ready to go, but you don't force it. So if you're all right, so back to the other example I was saying with the snowy car.
Yeah.
So you see that hill coming up, and you're like, oh shit, I think I'm going too fast. This hill looks scary. I should slow down before I get there, and then I'll speed up once I'm there, so that way I get up the hill. But then you started this slide right before you hit the hill, and now you're trying to go up it, and then you lost speed because you overthought it.
Right. And I think there's a thing where you're setting the intention. I don't know if you ever had this where you get drunk for a first date and then you feel trapped in that fun guy. You're like, she thinks I'm fun.
Yeah.
Then I have to keep that going for like the other dates.
Right. I did that for like a full year. Like, I'm just an alcoholic, babe. You love this, right?
Yeah.
Please stop drinking. You're like, no, you love it. It's just what you love.
Yeah, like I feel like if a first date goes well, they're like, yeah, like he's fun. He could talk about anything. And like in reality, I don't want to talk about everything.
I was just trying to impress you.
I don't like The Wire.
I was just trying to trick you.
Yeah. But yeah, I think.
I know. Yeah, no, there is. That's not just with relationships. That's with a lot of things. And that's why it kind of sucks that we only like a lot of our performances are at bars and stuff, because when you go to see everybody that you always perform with, they're like, this guy's the drinker. Like every time I run into Dan, if he's not drinking, like it somewhat upsets me. Even though but like I get it. Like I'm like
yeah, you're right.
It doesn't upset. No, it actually upsets me more when he is drinking, because I'm like, I'm not gonna not. I gotta drink with Dan. Dan is trying to get better.
He's been on a cleanse. He's been
exactly. That's why when you find him in the valley, You gotta drink with it. But and I think that's what it is. We just keep bumping into one another, and it goes from like who's not drinking that much, and then you run into him. It's like, oh, he's drinking now. It's almost like fucking Corona. You're catching it. It's like, so I can't drink for like about a month.
Yep. And it seems like in comedy, the only time that you're not going to be performing at a bar is when you're super successful and you're like doing a theater.
Yeah,
because a comedy club is a bar. A bar is a bar.
Dude, everywhere is like a call. Like, I mean,
oh yeah, coffee shops, but I mean, there's not really mics at coffee shops for the most part.
Not around here, no.
There's music mics at coffee shops.
Right. Yeah. It's what you have to. We have to start like pretending that we're musicians and going to those.
I did do a music mic at Harper's.
Yeah, I heard there's.
It was dope.
They have those on Sundays. Was that recently?
No, it was before COVID, okay. But it was fun as hell because, it's the closest to a regular audience you're gonna get at a mic because they're not comics.
Right. Yeah, it's funny too because some of the musicians get mad when comedy shows up. There's like, this is for musicians. I was like, I don't know. But yeah, no, you do get like the audience. The one thing that people are talking and stuff, like since it's music playing and then you're a comedian, so there's like that type of disruptance in a set. But also that's something that helps you get better. Like being able to tackle like an audience that's like kind of rowdy when you get on, and then you're able to calm them down and get them to listen. Doing that shit when you first start out is a good way. Like you already had that since you were like you did this with music. Like you were able to get control of an audience. You knew how to handle that. I didn't know how to, like, first starting out. Like I'd get up like, what the fuck? How do you get everybody to pay attention when they without? And then you learn by like going, hey, shut the fuck up, and everyone's like, why would you say that?
Well, yeah, like, but, right, and there's also
tone
like
it down from now on.
Certain things
do it too low, and then they ignore you. Like, well, what the fuck? And then you find that balance.
Exactly. Like I was just learning that when the crowd is out of it, you got to do crowd work, and that happened on Wednesday at South House. I was doing shit that was not good. It wasn't good.
But you were having fun.
Kinda, but then I went into like just full fuck it mode.
Right.
And then because people were like talking, socializing, so then I was like, aha, I'll just hit on this old bitch.
Hell yeah.
The whole time. So this whole time I was just hitting on this lady that was like my mom's age, not like a MILF or anything. Like she legitimately looked like a mom.
Right.
And like the first thing I said, I was like, I can't promise I have a big dick, but I promise you, I come. And then it just kept getting worse and worse. And then, but then everyone was paying attention. It was probably the best set I had in a long time.
So what was the let's walk through this. What was the initial response after you said I come? What was the audience? What was the table's reaction first? What was the lady herself when you said, I might not have a big dick, but I come?
Well, I think I opened it up with, I figured out that it was a mom and 3 daughters. And, like, the daughters all looked like they were in, like, their late 20s, early 30s. And then it was the one mom. And then I said to the mom, I was like, what are you doing after this? And then I said the cum thing. And then
you sniffed that out like lions do when there's like one older or one younger thing, like in their prey, like what they're about to attack. They're like, oh, those 3. No, we're gonna go for the old one.
Yeah,
the one that they're gonna leave behind,
circling around. Ned Arnold posted it to his story, and then I shared it.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's all that.
I saw the clip. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I know that the thing. Yeah, so go on.
And then. And that was the first time I did crowd work like me, because I think I always wanted to be like one of those seller dudes that like owns them. But I was like, I'm gonna go like the full silly route.
It's not always. No, the owning thing is like that person has to be doing something
worthy of being owned.
Yeah, you can't just own people for no reason. It's like, if someone being a dick, then you own them.
Yeah, no, they weren't being mean or anything. And then, yeah, it was just fun. I was like, well, what's your sign? She's like, Aquarius. I'm like, I'm a Gemini. Uh-oh.
What is that? What do you know the relations between the two, or you know?
No,
just
no.
saying, I was wondering. I'm like, do you know? Is that like? I know being a Gemini is always though.
Right.
Apparently.
That's why I did it. Like everyone always says with Gemini.
Dude. So you reel them in. You reel them into your set.
Yeah.
Is this the only
And then
audience table?
it ended on the crowd work, but
You ended it on crowd work.
yeah.
But you got her. Wait, what was the one line you said?
Oh yeah, I like you, mask down, ass up.
So what was leading up to that? And what was the response, her response, and then her daughter's response?
I forget like the specifics of certain things because like first of all I was like a little drunk, and then second of all, that was one of the first times I did crowd work and felt like I was in a flow state. So I wasn't remembering it. I was just in the moment. That was like one of the first times I was ever like in the moment on stage.
Right. Yeah. Like it was like, oh, so you like clicked. You're like, is this something I could possibly tap into?
Yeah. Like it was the first time I felt like the momentum and I just like took it in and then just had fun.
That feel like you describing it. I know exactly that feeling is like, it's been described as the same feeling that surfers get when they're in the tube, when they're getting tubed up, and like, you know, when anybody, like the movie Soul, is that what you're basing it off of? The flow state? The movie Soul, when he starts playing the piano and he gets like, gets that one spot, you're just like, I'm not even thinking about what I'm doing, I'm just fucking doing it.
Yeah, that was exactly what it was like.
Yeah. So that's such a like a, once you like step into that zone, you're like, how do I recreate that as often as possible? But it's, you know, it's not really something.
It's hard because you can't try to recreate it. You just have to recreate it.
That's the thing. Yeah, you just got to put yourself in the best mood, the best. You know, it's like experimenting. You know exactly what you need. No, you don't. That's why you're experimenting. You are trying to figure out what you need to put you in the best position each time.
Yeah, and I think it helped that, you know, other comics were watching because I think they understood what I was doing because the first part of my set stunk.
Yeah.
So I think they could see that I was in a fuck it stage, so that helped a lot. Right. So it was very serendipitous. Like everything worked nicely.
It's nice when it falls into place like that. Now, do you feel the classes you took, the off mic, whatever, the fucking crowd work class?
Yeah, with Dan Petrano.
You think that like that had anything to do with what was happening?
I think subconsciously, like
you think it made you more confident to just give it like to even give it a go.
Not that it made me more confident, but I think I had an intent of not making it negative.
Right.
Even though like it was raunchy.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't negative. I wasn't being like you're a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like
I feel like a lot of the times comedians make it like if I'm dealing with the crowd, it must be in a hostile. Like I remember when I first started doing comedy, like realizing like if I do crowd work, it's gonna have to be hostile because why would I be doing friendly crowd work if they were interrupting? Because like people just talk just because, you know, people talk. Like you've ever been with a bunch of people having a conversation and someone says like, oh yeah, and then starts like talking next to somebody else. You're like, well, no, see, I got to be good at making sure that they know I'm the center of attention. I got to be good at being an attention whore.
Yes.
Because whatever that person next to them is saying is not. I'm paid for this.
Right. You just
when you're in that position.
All you have to prove is that like I'm better than you at doing this, and you don't have to like on the nose put them down about it. You can just like show it by like I'm being very clearly funnier than you in this moment.
Yeah. It's very important to make sure that is what's happening. Not just be like I'm an angrier person than you.
And dude, in like next week, I'm probably gonna try and do that again, and then it's gonna go horribly.
Do it verbatim.
Yeah, it's funny. Like
it's like a guy by himself. You're like, what are these? Your daughters?
I'm a Gemini. Just not the same energy. I was in therapy and I was like so excited about it, and but. This is why I love my therapist. He does a really good job of when I'm really high, he brings me down. And then when I'm really low, he brings me up.
Okay.
Because I think he can tell that I get super high and super low.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he better be able to, otherwise you find a different fucking therapist.
Yeah. If you don't notice that, what are you doing?
Yeah. He listens to this cast, right?
I don't think he listens to the cast, but he fucks with comedy.
Okay.
He He was like telling me like he went down the rabbit hole, like he knows who Eli Sayers is. I'm like, damn, you're like actually going down the rabbit hole.
Man, he's doing his work on you. He's like, what's wrong with comedians?
Yeah.
He's like, and musicians. You got to do like a cross Venn diagram of like fucked up comedians and fucked up musicians. And then you're that little, when the two circled, you're the vagina part right in the middle.
Yes.
Of the Venn diagram.
And then
you ever look at a Venn diagram and be like, I'll eat the shit out of that Venn diagram's pussy.
Yeah.
You draw a little fucking dot, two butt cheeks.
I feel like Oliver Twist. I'm like, please, sir, I want some more.
It's like they never give you a big enough space for the middle.
Yes.
Speaking of fellatio, I on the way here was driving because I have my license back.
Yeah, my dude's driving again.
I'm driving. I'm drinking. No, I'm not. I'm just driving. But on the way here, I was at a red light, and my breathalyzer thing went off. Because I still have that in the car for 2 years.
Right.
So I'm at the red light, and I'm blowing into it. You gotta like blow in for 3 seconds. You breathe in it 3 seconds, and then blow back out 3 seconds. So it's like you're holding it for a while. I looked over, and there's a dude next to me staring at me. So I turned up my radio, rolled down my window, and pretended it was the trumpet. Wait, was that one song like? Dun, 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 dun. Is that a trumpet or a saxophone?
I think it's a trumpet.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I pretended it was a trumpet. He rolled it to like, yo, I just got mine off. I'm like, this.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, this shit's more. Yeah, you know, he was cool. He's like, enjoy that. I'm like, I got this shit on for 2 more years. He's like, fucking, they suck. I'm like, yeah, I know. I do. Like, those things are legitimately more dangerous than if I were to just drive my car.
Because you have to do it while driving.
You do it while you got to do it while you're driving. I almost pass out.
Oh, I guess like they had people that like they turn their cars on and then they crack open beers while they're driving.
Yeah, dude, it'll go off every 5 minutes too. Like,
wow.
It depends on what kind of day it is. It's like a Tuesday. It's like you're probably not drinking on a Thursday though.
How much time
Thursday.
From when it's beeping to when they like stop your car or whatever?
So
do you have like a 30 seconds, a minute?
I have at least, I would say probably a minute, because this is what sucks. In the winter, I can't even warm my car up anymore. Like, I got to go and sit in a cold car while it heats up.
Damn.
Because I used to get all of my shit, like I'd start the car, get all my shit ready, and when I got down, the heat would be on, it'd be nice and warm, my car would be ready to go. But I went up and I did that, and I came back down, the car was off. So 5 minutes I was upstairs. So it could happen I have no idea, but it ended up costing me like $90. So you have to call some company and be like, yeah, no, I was just like not outside. I'm not drunk. Can you unlock my car?
Damn.
And they unlock it, and you got to blow into it. It costs $90, and you got to bring it back to the fucking thing and get it all checked out. I recommend getting a DUI. It's the best way to spend money on shit you really don't want.
Yeah.
It truly is. It's like a really expensive.
Yo, move in, dude.
Yeah.
Liz hasn't been here, and I haven't driven since I moved here.
Perfect. Yeah, dude. I never want to drive again.
Yeah. Dude, that would be sick if you moved in.
If I moved in, I'll just be Liz. Tell Liz I'm moving in. I'll just live under your bed.
Yeah, there's definitely room.
All right.
I think if we put one layer under my bed, you'd be good.
Definitely. I mean, you know me. I like to dwell in the layers of beds. I like to be sandwiched in between 2 mattresses.
That's how it was when we were on the road. We made like a little bunk bed, and then people would sleep under it. We called it the coffin. And it was terrifying.
Now I'm picturing,
because if we got in a crash and it collapsed, you're dead for real.
Really?
Right there.
So like kind of like Step Brothers when they build their own bunk beds.
Oh yeah, and then just
yeah,
just like that.
So what kind of dreams would you have when you're like, all right, time to? I guess you'd have to just get real fucked up and be like, I'm gonna sleep at the bottom because I don't even care if I die.
Yeah, I usually went to sleep fucked up.
Yeah. That's what was it made like?
The frame of it, that was, the bunk part was wood.
Okay.
And
then you just like taped a bunch of knives on top.
Yes.
So like that, those like spooky old time like torture devices where you shut the coffin and it's got nails in it.
Yeah. Yeah,
like
because we don't want anyone to have a slow death.
yeah, yeah.
Like, yo, just take me out.
Yeah, you need it quick.
I was thinking, I want my last words to be, oh shit.
I wouldn't mind to be, dude. I always think about like I feel like I'm gonna get like I'm gonna do something stupid and it's gonna leave me like bleeding out and I'm just gonna be like, this is not funny at all. I just laugh like that until I'm just like, then I die. People are like, ah.
Yeah, I don't get anyone that has the wherewithal to have last words.
I'm gonna try really. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like I'm
Mine's
going to
just
be like,
gonna be
Ash, it hurts. Make it stop, Mom.
Yeah. Fuck. It's not gonna be like life is a marathon, not a race.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude.
I don't have time. Yeah, well, you gotta have that. Like, that's what tattoos are for, right? Just in case you don't get to say it.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I think about dying once in a while, but I do live like it's not gonna happen, which is the wrong way to live.
No, I don't think.
In a way,
because
like with COVID, I haven't changed my behavior at all for the most part.
So far, so good.
Yeah,
you're a lot fitter than you thought, dude. Survival of the fittest. Look how fit you are. Yes. You're alive.
I think
you're fitter than some people.
I'm just manifesting that I have a certain blood type where I'm immune.
So that's what
I'm manifesting it. It's not backed up by anything.
It's backed up with the same way when you get in car accidents, you survive. You're a survivor. You know when to ball up. When you're going out in public, you're balling up. Dude, you put your shoulders up, stopping the COVID coming from the left side, from left field, right field. You're ball and chain.
Yeah. And I get the argument that you can spread it to other people, so you shouldn't do that. But
not if this is a competition.
Yes.
Survival of the fittest. I'm trying to be the number one fittest.
But also at the same time, like I'll mask up and shit like that. But like for me, I'm like, I don't know if it's not gonna kill me. Like it is the likelihood of this killing me equal to like me getting hit by a car. Like that's kind of how I try and think about it.
You get hit by a car, you don't die, but there was COVID on the bumper.
Yeah.
And it got in your spleen because it ripped you open.
Yeah, for some reason I'm just.
What are your last words?
Not that worried about it.
Was that your last words? Not worried about this at all.
Yeah.
You're like pinned up against the pole. Like we moved the car, you're gonna die. Not even worried about it.
Yeah, my last words are gonna be whatever.
Dude, you know it's kind of annoying though. I feel like I see people get like. It's people that get mad at you about when you go out to public places or anything. They get like super pissed, like you don't care about this person or that person. You're spreading to this. I'm like, yeah, but I'm only going to this place, and then my house, and then to see the people that I always see that know that I'm doing this. So at what point am I killing your grandfather? Because I see that posted on Facebook a lot, where like, oh, here's an open like, they'd be like, here's open mic at Raven Lounge, and they'd be like, don't. Please stop posting about this. Or like they'll be like, what time are signups? So I could tell my dead grandfather how much time they get. It's like, was your grandfather going to the open mic? I don't get how.
Yeah, and it's also there's a lot of stuff where people are like worried about it, but they're still doing the thing. Like I was at a mic where someone's like, yeah, I'm like deathly afraid of COVID, and I'm like, why are you here?
Yeah.
He's like, I have like old parents that I live with. I'm like, don't fucking come here.
You're what they're yelling about.
Yeah,
the guy.
I'm like, I live with my sister. We have a mutual understanding, and we're cool with it.
Right.
So we're just gonna do our thing. Yeah. But if you don't have that thing, then what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. It needs to be like, I mean, but also, yeah, you shouldn't kill your parents. Maybe they suck.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know the guy's situation. He could have real shitty parents. They could beat him, and he still lives with them. Can you imagine you get beat by your parents your entire childhood, you still end up living in their like in their basement or some shit?
Yeah.
So and it's not even your decision. It's they just still beat you until you're fucking like 45 years old, and then they die. You're like, ha, get the house. This is why yes. I waited out this long.
Yes, you beat him at the home game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
back to what
I don't know, and I also found like there's certain people I know that are like pissed about someone not taking it seriously, and I'm like, I see you risking it sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's the annoying shit. Because I see people that, like, I feel like some of them are, I see people that say shit like that. I'm like, I've definitely seen you out and about and stuff. So you're just picking comedy to put, like, you're not, because they don't get mad at, like, if it's, they get mad at open mics. That's what I'm starting to figure out. They don't like open mics.
Yeah.
Because they're like, there's no point of an open mic. It doesn't serve anybody but the people doing comedy. I'm like, yeah, but so it is. So then it is helping the people that are doing comedy, right? Because maybe they're fucking been stuck at home for how many days and have the mental capacity to not blow their brains out. Some people need that shit. So don't don't go out. If you're one of those dudes that's got like an issue and there's people that you see on a regular basis, then yeah, you shouldn't be going out. But if you're someone that's like your situation, you should be allowed to go out without other people being like, you're a fucking murderer.
Yeah, and when I go into like stores and shit, I double mask and stuff like that because I don't want to be a dick. But like also, like the watch me die from it after this, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
That would actually be hilarious. If I'm gonna die in any way,
I'm killing you with ricin, and they're gonna think it's COVID.
Yes.
So,
but
that's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
No,
I mean,
it is. Now
and also like just moving here, it's hard not to go out. It's weird to like move into a new place and then just stay in a room.
Right. You'd be literally doing like an insane asylum type of thing if you didn't leave this place.
Yeah, dude, because especially when I first moved here, even though like I did have people I knew here, it was still weird.
Yeah.
And I could see myself getting in a bad place if I didn't venture out a little bit.
Right. Yeah, like to have to be stuck in the spot because of COVID, that would be. It's not good because I remember, like, I haven't progressed in a year because of a DUI, and the COVID actually, my situation was so bad that COVID helped my situation out.
Yeah,
like that's what's like cool, but like that feeling of being stuck somewhere and being like, I can't even go do that if I wanted to, is super like just deflating. You know, so you.
So how good does it feel now?
Oh, it feels it's. Like, I was nervous because they wanted me to, like, do my own community service hours, and something didn't, like, I felt like I was going to go there. And you know how DMVs are. They're just going to be like, go home because we hate you. Like, I went to one DMV, and they're like, you were supposed to go to the other DMV. I'm like, I just came from that DMV, and they told me to come here. They're like, oh, well, you got to go back. I'm like, no. Let me ask you a few more questions. I'm like, oh, no, yeah, you're supposed to be here. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So when I finally got my license, I felt like $1 million. The best part about if anyone's going to get their license redone, and if you're going to get the picture taken, I don't know if you've seen TJ Miller's got a bit where he makes a face and sits through the line the entire time so he can make a funny face for his new ID. You don't even have to do that. You just get to wear the mask. So your face is whatever it is when you take off the mask. When you pull it down. And they can't say shit, dude. This lady had to have thought I was special needs because I just did. And like at first she was like being like how DMV ladies are. They're like, all right, yeah, let's do this, do that. And then as soon as she saw I lowered my face like that, she's like, yo, does this picture look nice? I'm like, oh, yeah. She's like,
did you say it like that?
Yeah, I was like, uh-huh. And she's like, oh wow, your hair is really naturally. Is it natural curly or do you curl it? I'm like, it's natural. Just like,
dude, that's so nice. That dude. To be honest, that reminds me of a time in 3rd grade where I didn't realize that, like, it wasn't good to be mentally challenged. All I saw was this girl, F.A.
You were like, oh, a challenge? I can handle it.
Well, there was this girl, F.A., who got special treatment. And I was like, that rules. Right. So I went up to my teacher, and I was like, I'm retarded. And I told her that.
I feel like if a kid does that, they can't not be.
Yeah.
Like, you're definitely not retarded. So what did she say? She's like, all right, I'll put you in the...
Because that's usually something you're alerted of, you know what I mean? It's you don't have the kid come up to you and admit it.
Yeah, right. You're like, like either two things. Either you're dumb enough to go say something like that, or you're right.
Yeah.
Which means, are you retarded then?
Well, here's the thing.
Then you're just probably like autistic, like super smart type of.
After a while, I was like, I don't like this. So I went up to her. I'm like, I'm not retarded anymore.
What time is it? 3:30? Yeah. I've been done being retarded for about half an hour. Well, that's what I was going to ask you.
We cured it.
Yeah, it turns out I just had the hiccups. So. I thought you were doing.
Oh, that's probably one of the sickest things I ever did.
No,
my whole life.
That's actually like, what is? Did you think like it was just like an amount of time, like being mentally challenged, like you're like, all right, I'm mentally challenged, and there's like, you complete the challenge, and then it's over. It's like almost like MTV mentally challenged, like instead of like, you know, when they have like the road rules challenges. It's just a challenge of your mentality.
Well, I saw, like, obviously I could tell that FA was different. And, but I didn't know everything that came with that. I'm like, all right, if I act different, they'll grade my spelling test easier. Like, that's how I took it. I'm like, she's, like, different. I'm like, I should be different.
Dude, I picture you, like... being like a little Donald Trump, like in your class, like acting retarded, like just so you could get your like taking the spelling test and doing like.
Listen, I'm so retarded. Some would say the most.
Oh, holy shit! That's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious, but it is weird though. Like they should have they should have some sort of classes beforehand because like they just put you all in the same class and then like you don't understand why someone's getting special treatment or what it is that's actually wrong with them. Because I remember like I kind of bullied a retarded kid in my class because I just thought he was fucking super happy all the time.
Yeah,
and that pissed me off because I'm retarded. I ain't gonna admit that shit. So I didn't really bully him. I would just. He did like not magic. I would eat a bunch of Skittles and then blow him in his face, and he would know which color. And I thought that was magic.
He would know which color.
Yeah, I'd be like, close my mouth, and then I'd blow through out so he couldn't see what flavor it was, and he'd name it. Like I'd put a grape and an orange in there, and he'd know a grape orange.
He's a Skittles savant.
Yeah, he's a Skittles savant.
Skittles savant. Damn.
Yeah. Well, and then they told us in like.
He has perfect pitch with Skittles.
Dude, like in second grade, they told us that. Like he's going to the special classes, so we're having a party for him. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because I did make fun of him. Like he would pee at the toilet with his pants all the way down.
That's a huge tell.
And I'd be like, fucking look at your ass, idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, but I didn't know.
Yeah, but when you're younger, you don't really know. But my favorite thing was seeing kids that are so bad that they just make them retarded.
Yeah,
like just the bad kids, they put them in special needs classes.
Yeah,
I don't know if they still do that, but that was a thing. They're like, you're just so much of a dick,
dude,
that we're gonna make you retarded.
They do that. There was one kid, I don't know if they still do it, but there was one kid in my like first grade class. His name was like Tony. He was on that level of like, this kid's bad or retarded. We don't know if one has to do with the other, but he's bad for sure. He got a hit, and this was like we were just taught like everyone's got to be nice to each other. Everyone like even if the person is mean, you should be nice back. This that you shouldn't bully anymore. And that was like right around the time when I like oh, you almost bullied this kid that's like got special needs and shit. Time to like not do that ever again. And this kid, I guess at some point got a list of our entire classes, like this is second grade, our entire classes, like phone numbers, home phone numbers, and went down the list and called everybody. And I didn't know that. He called me, and I was like, hey, man, you want to let you hang out and shit? Like, I was the only one, but he got like so much trouble because he called everybody, just like prank phone calling everybody and like being a dick. And I invited him over to come hang out.
Nice.
And I was like, I thought we weren't supposed to be mean to people. He was like, no, he's bad and retarded. So you can pick on that one. I was like, all right, I'm figuring it out.
They decide pretty early They're like, we're not gonna try and make you educated.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, maybe it's like in a way they're like, let's not get like the smarter. That's dangerous. We can't make him smart,
Yeah.
right?
They sent him to trade school immediately. They're like, we're gonna trade education for retarded.
buy, sell.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I knew a few people like that.
Video's full.
Oh, gotcha.
Storage was full.
All right, well, full, baby.
Yeah, we could just do it without the rest.
Yeah,
right?
we could just keep going.
We'll put a picture of our penises mushing together. But go on.
I actually might be able to do it with my phone. Let's see. We'll see how long this goes. Ba-dum, boom, 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 boom. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Dum, dum, dum. All right.
There we go.
All right.
We're rolling, baby.
We're good for now. But yeah, I knew a few kids like that were just wild cards.
Yeah.
And then they got put in the special needs classes. And then they ended up being pretty cool. But being like a really bad kid growing up, you either become the worst or the best. There's literally no in between. Because I knew a kid who's like just like on the streets now, just like doing heroin all the time. And then another one who like
living his best
like
life.
has a family now. He's like such a sweetie.
Ugh, can't believe he let himself get like that.
I know.
He should be out in the streets doing heroin. Oh no, dude. I would say I'm right in the middle there. 2 DUIs. They didn't put me.
What, were you a bad kid?
Yeah.
In school?
Yeah. So, but they didn't try to. They kind of did. So, I went to pre-first, which is almost like being sent to a little bit.
I went to pre-K.
Yeah. So that.
I did.
Was that before or after you told them you were retarded?
Before.
So you went to pre-K before you were retarded.
Yeah. Yeah. I went. That's just a nice way of saying held back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why they're thinking like they gave me like a little bit time. They're like, listen, I think you're just a little bit immature. That's the word they like to use is immature. So we're gonna put you into this class. We don't think you're necessarily stupid. We just don't think you can handle any of the information we're giving you. I'm like, sounds like the definition of stupid.
Yeah.
They're like, shut up, you're an idiot. What would you know? And I'm like, okay, all right.
That's why you're being held back.
Like whatever, lady. My one buddy though, he wasn't bad. He was dumb, not retarded. Put in special needs classes.
Yeah.
There was a kid went by the name JP. He was a special man, special little boy. He would come up and say Happy New Year every day.
Happy New Year.
Every day, and he was a bright, like a bright star in the middle of lunch. You know, he'd always come up to our table and be like, Happy New Year. We're like, fuck yeah, dude, Happy New Year. And my buddy Alex was in his class in 10th grade, his Spanish class. And he's now a car salesman.
Wow.
JP is now the new Stephen Hawking.
Damn.
The black Stephen Hawking.
My name's JP, stands for just playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he turned into like the dude, whatever person that Steve Urkel turns into when he gets cool.
Yeah. I did do that. Yeah.
Damn. I feel like I won't go back and listen to this episode because I'm afraid to listen back to everything we just talked about. Like I definitely came off like I was beating up retards in that section.
Well, that's what people like about us.
What is the most fucked up thing you've thought about this week?
This week?
Yeah, you got anything that sticks out?
Or
you could say this week, but it could be from the week before. No one would know.
I can't think of anything fucked up, but I got mad about something.
What?
I got mad about people who are very familiar with the terminology of something but don't understand it.
It's me.
But like,
that's us. It's
but
most of the things we talk about on this podcast.
fair. But like, more like on a psychology standpoint.
Okay.
But when they say, like, I've been seeing a lot more armchair psychologists on the internet, and it makes me so mad.
Right.
Because they're like, I saw this clip. You're definitely this, and it's like, yo, you're retarded. because dude, like, to become like a clinical psychologist, I'm not sure if you have to get your master's or your PhD. I'm not sure which one, but either way, it takes a lot of training to become a clinical psychologist and then give a diagnosis.
Right.
And they do that because, one, legality, and then second, it's irresponsible not to have someone with that amount of training do it.
Yeah, right.
So the fact that, like, I feel like with the amount of information now, everyone feels like they're an expert on stuff.
Yeah.
And it just pisses me off for some reason.
No, I could see that. It's like, oh yeah, you're supposed to need therapy. Have you been doing it? It's like, no, but I've been hanging out with my friend Jennifer a lot, and she reads a lot of laws of letting go books. And like that whole mentality type of thing. I do remember being like, I multiple times through the pandemic, I'm like, I could be a psychologist for sure. I never said it out loud though. I never told somebody like, this is what you got. I'm like,
well, there's a difference between being like, I have the capacity to be one, and I am one.
Oh, actually, you know what? On second thought, now that I'm thinking about it, I think my Facebook memory popped up like a few weeks ago saying, I want to be a therapist, and then like ... and it says, I am now a therapist. Ask me whatever you want. So is that the thing that you're mad about? Is that shit?
No, I think I think I saw, I forget what it was. It was on a TikTok. Ooh. It was a Mormon couple. They were talking about the transition between growing up with Mormon values and that how that affected their sex life and the expectations from the dude versus the reality and stuff like that. And then someone commented, it seems as though you're a sex addict. I would recommend a 12-step program. And that made me so mad. I'm like, yo, you just saw this dude on TikTok. You don't know him at all.
Right.
And I've seen like similar things to that. I feel like a lot of people want to psychoanalyze, but you can't really psychoanalyze from their public output. And a lot of people love doing that. And it's one of the most insane things I've ever seen, to be honest.
Because it's so distant from like what's actually like it's maybe all those problems exist, but they only exist in that conversation on the computer in that comment section.
Yeah,
it's like he's being like this, he's acting like this. It's like, okay, what you just saying that does nothing but just like it's a pointless conversation to have, basically, since right. It's not you're diagnosing shit that you don't have enough information on based off of something so small that what's the point of...
And then it ties into like everything on the internet. Like everyone makes huge statements based on a very limited amount of info. And I think that's the root of it. I think that's what pisses me off.
I kind of blame our English program in the United States. Remember all those picture prompts that we have to write about? They just give you like a picture prompt and you have to like write a full story about what happened.
Yes.
So they're just like, all right, get good at just making up bullshit. All right, here's like two. That's what they should have done. They should do it with like 3 facts. They're like trying to win a debate with just this little bit of information, and this person, they could have all this information, but just say that most of it, whatever section they point out, is a lie.
Yep.
It's pretty wild stuff.
Yeah, people are wild, and I gotta take a piss. But you down to keep going?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, let's do it.
Hell yeah.
All right, and we're back.
Back, baby.
But yeah, enough of the rant.
Yo, dude, you wanna hear the most fucked up thing I thought of this week?
Yeah.
I was thinking I was watching a bunch of people do like those gender reveal parties. What I wanted to like replace one of the things with just ashes. And just be like, yeah, it's a fucking miscarriage. So I thought of that in the shower 2 days ago. I was like,
I like that.
It would be, yeah. I want to put my actual ashes though in someone's thing.
that would have been sick if you're like, if it helps, it would have been a boy.
Just like a dildo just plops down on top of it. Just like, there it is. There's the dude.
Yeah, just a fucking baseball mitt.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe that those gender reveal things are caught on. Especially when it's at like a time when everyone's like, you're not supposed to gender these things.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's the main criticism of it, where it's like, don't assume your baby's gender. Where I don't know. It seems early to talk about any of that stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like when a kid is like 3, they're like, please, I'm a they.
Yeah. Dude, when I was 3,
we are Jacob. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum.
Dude, when I was 3, I was rocking cowboy boots and a cape, so I was technically a vampire, and I don't know what I was doing with my dick, but I was,
I was gay adjacent when I was a kid.
Gay adjacent?
Yeah, I did all the stuff that you would traditionally think a kid was gay for. Like I did ballet,
right,
theater, stuff like that. I loved Hairspray, the musical.
Right.
That was my shit.
Yeah.
And then,
were you ever worried about being labeled as gay?
Yeah.
Did anybody?
Oh yeah. So I stopped doing it, and then I joined a band. I was like, this is where I can sing and stuff, and
dude, maybe
not be called gay.
That's kind of upsetting, dude. Maybe the world took away one of the best. You could have been like fucking Shakespeare, man.
Maybe.
Wait, did Shakespeare actually act out in any of his plays?
I don't think so.
Man, you could have been who's a good theater guy? Maybe it was better off that someone called you a faggot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking a dance appreciation class now.
Are you really?
And I love it.
I was gonna take one of those when I went to Stockton, but they you need to buy. Like, I don't know if you let me know if they do this in your thing, but they were like, you have to buy a cup in order to do like a dance.
A cup?
Yeah, they didn't want any flop.
What?
They didn't want no dick flopping around. Like.
Oh no! Like. No, it's not like actually dancing in the class.
Oh, I was about to take a straight up dance class. And they're like, you need to buy like a cup for your wang. I'm like, You wouldn't even say it. Wouldn't you gonna make the girls wear a cup for their clit? Like, I don't. This isn't fair.
Yeah, no. It's more so like watching it and then like analyzing it. There's certain things where it's like a little. Where it's like it's too much talking about oppression.
Okay.
Where it's a lot.
So they do, yeah, they bring that. That's weird.
Like
that's
gender,
one thing
race.
I wasn't expecting that.
Misogyny. And I'm like, all right, like I get that those are factors in society, but also let me see this dude plie.
yeah. Let's get down to the.
I want to appreciate this plie. But yeah, I like last week I wrote a paper on Swan Lake.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the one.
And I liked
it. Right?
I forget the music aspect of it.
That's it. It better be. Actually, that might be the Nutcracker. I don't fucking know, man. I haven't appreciated that type of music in a little bit, so I need to get back to it.
Yeah, because I had 2 free electives, so I took that in TV production, which was nice. It's been a sick term.
Yeah, you guys, you got like one of those good. That's weird though. When going into college, I didn't really think that. Like I did communications, and they did a lot of that as well, like talking about like how do we relate this to the like the liberal side of things.
Yeah,
which was kind of like they like taught like a lot. Like the news there's certain kinds of news. There's news where it's just facts, and they don't put any biasness on it. And then there's news that's like this run by this, and you have to go and take away their agenda. And then there's the opposite side of that. I was like. Oh, I didn't even know about that shit.
Yeah.
So, but that's weird though.
It's
that,
cool
they
in
decided to
certain
do that
ways.
in college. Figured that like.
Yeah, I like it sometimes, but sometimes it's like a little much. Like my professor will open up the class with saying like, I just want to say, she says this for every class. I just want to say I recognize the Lenape people, whose land we are living on today, like that kind of shit. And I'm like, all right, yeah. Like I don't know, like some of it like comes off to the way I interpret it. I'm like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, I know what you're talking.
And I don't know, that could be ignorant of me, but I think it's just like, sure, like you can keep doing that for everything. Like I recognize, the people that built these roads. I recognize.
That shit always
I recognize the people that created the blues. Like you could just do that all
Blues
day.
like the drug. Like that's I think
the
that
feeling. The
the
music, baby. No, like I get it. Like it's good to recognize these things when it's appropriate, but just bringing it up, it's like you can do that all day with everything.
Right.
And there was actually a girl in the class who emailed the professor, and she's black. She's in my group, and she said like, "Hey, can we not talk about the suffering of my ancestors all day?"
It's
She's like, it gets old. Like every class, she was like, every class,
Yeah.
I'm just like forced to remember this shit. And I'm
Right.
like, that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like, well, if we don't talk about it, history will repeat itself. It's like it might as well, because you haven't stopped talking about it. Like, when's the point of when it's done being talked about? And it's just it's just obviously not every part of the country is there yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
But there has to be like a place where you just learn the shit and it's not also mixed in with that. Where you do that, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm too busy stuffing my ashes into a goddamn firework, try to explode, and trick my friends into thinking that they're gonna have a miscarriage. I don't think about fucked up shit like that.
Lenape ashes. You're stuffing the Lenape ashes, dude. Yeah, I mean,
it's like just fucking a puff of red smoke. I think those are their tribe colors. It's like, oh, you're gonna have a Lenape.
Yeah, Red Smoke. They should change their name to the Washington Red Smokes.
I don't think they should.
All right, well, tomato, which is also red.
Nope, it's tomato, and I know you don't say tomato.
Red toe.
Well,
Red tato.
if you're gonna be like this, man, I'll
Como arigato, Mr. Retato.
Domo. Sheesh.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, is it weird that I don't give a shit about like a lot of things that are happening?
Yeah, you're fucked up, man.
Because I don't know. I think I don't know. I think it's like for certain things we should worry about it, but life ain't that serious, baby. Let's just.
I know exactly what you're saying. It's like I think we're worried about a little too much. Certain things have been just taught. Like even us on this podcast, what are we specifically talking about right now? We've talked about this though. Whatever this is, the unspecificness of what we're talking about right now. How many times have we brought it up on this podcast? And we're just like, we don't care. It's like, yeah, but but we obviously do at some level. We're bothered that I have to say, it's like, can you just like,
that's a great point.
It not be talked about?
That's a great point.
That's what I've been trying to do. Like, just like wean it out. Like you always like there's the one side that's always arguing with the other, and the other side always arguing with the other, and then you're like, I just want everyone to be in the middle. And like at a certain point, you're like, I'm getting tired of hearing that. It's like, let's just do it. Let's just not give a fuck anymore. Isn't that that's what comedians used to do?
That's a good point.
Those are comedians who are supposed to be like, yeah, that guy's saying something fucked up, and you're like, yeah, fuck. That's the whole point of me. Now it's like we try to defend, like, because we got too scared of being targeted to be like, you're a fucked up person. It's like, yeah, I know, but that was, I thought, what we were doing here. Was that not what I'm like just saying it just because I'm saying I don't want to be like, as I'm saying it, like obviously taken down for it. But I mean, at a certain point you do want people being like, hey, you shouldn't be saying that. You don't want to lose a job over it.
Right.
I don't even see. I lost track of myself where I was going right there.
Yeah, like I think the essence of what you're saying is like, let's stop talking about it. Let's just do it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's
yeah, and I think I personally fall into that too much, where I talk about it a lot and I get too harped up on it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to. I mean, but also at the same time, you can't like force yourself not to talk about or think about something like that. It is nice though to just put it in the right direction. Like it's like curling. You gotta like swipe it over. Like we let go of the thought, and just swipe it over to where it needs to go every so often, just to make sure it gets there, and then eventually it'll land in the spot where we could keep playing the game. Because like, how much longer are we really gonna talk about all this shit before it's like not necessary to talk? Like, I feel like sometimes people try.
Because I'm like, it doesn't matter, but here's why it matters.
Right? Yeah. No. But that's the thing though. Like, because we like talking about it though. See, even though we like it's bullshit, we have to talk about this. But it's like, is it though, or do we kind of like it? Do we kind of like you fucking nerds want to stop us from saying retarded? But I'm gonna say it no matter what you don't.
Yeah.
It's like. I feel like I'm just going to say it and not be like, I could say it. I'm not going to have this conversation as much as I can. But it's also good to have it.
Yeah.
I feel crazy.
I don't think you should. I think you made a great point. All right, so I was fucking this retarded chick.
Tell me more. No, don't stop. Don't even think it's a bit, dude. I want you to fully.
All right, I will say one of my favorite things is seeing a horny retarded guy. That's like probably one of my all-time favorite things.
Where have you seen that? I bet I know where you've seen that.
Oh, like in like high school.
Oh,
you know when like the hormones
the fine
like come in, they're like, I want you to touch him.
Yeah, dude.
Touch me, him.
You imagine though? Like I feel like this happens too often. Like, have you really saw that? Did
you? A version of that, yes.
How old was he? Yeah,
like
I'm sorry. I tried to like blow him up. Like, all right, yeah, no, get it. The retarded guy. No, wait, what? So,
no, yeah. In high school, you could tell like when the hormones are kicking in.
Right, they turn.
It's the Venn diagram. It just forms a pussy, and they see it.
Yeah,
when hormones meet retarded.
Yeah,
it forms a pussy, and they notice.
And that's when they So it's almost like they don't even know what horny is. They're like we talk about like, oh yeah, it's horny, past, present. It's just like in the moment for them. They're like whatever.
Yeah, they're like, get this thing out of me.
Yeah, they don't plan for the future. Yeah, they don't plan for it. They're like, I'm probably gonna be horny. I need to get that out of the way. But that, dude, I'm trying to think. Like that must suck for like a parent. Like I've been caught by my mom jerking off. Like pretty bad. I can only imagine how bad it is when you walk in on like a mentally challenged person trying to masturbate. Like it's ugly if your dog's doing it. Like
I think honestly, if I had a son who was mentally challenged,
you jerk him off.
And I'm using the PC term because he's my son. Don't say retarded. Fuck you. He's my son.
Sorry, my bad, dude.
I think if I saw him jerking off, I would really genuinely feel good for him.
Daddy's gonna play catch.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be yeah. I guess that's a good thing. You're like
they should add that to the thing LGBTQR.
Yeah, dude. Like yeah, dude, they're doing it. It's a different way of doing it for sure, dude. I mean.
I'm sexually attracted to snack packs.
I mean, there is something sexy about fucking licking the lid of a snack pack.
Yeah, I like my pudding ebony.
You like it? Is that with the vanilla swirl?
No, that's the chocolate baby.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't get it.
I've been feeling dry.
Yeah,
you know ebony?
I was thinking of isn't there another word for when it's black and white on porns?
Segregated.
Yeah. Is it Pornhub has a segregation account? Get my porn segregated, please. Thank you very much. No.
Yeah. What if you blow me by the whitewater fountain?
Oh, dude, I watched a really weird. Oh yeah, this is what it was. I've watched a weird porn the other day. Like they always have like new weird scenarios. This one was different. It was like this guy who's like complaining. He's like, yeah, my girl just fucking left me. Like I can't believe she would do that. And like There's another. His friend is sitting right near him, who's clearly a girl dressed as a dude. He's like, man, I wish I could just fuck you, man. I wish you had a pussy, dude. And then she's like, I do have a pussy. You could totally fuck it too. It's like crazy. And he's like, all right, I'll fuck. Yeah, cool. Wouldn't that be weird if I all this like the amount it took him not even 30 seconds to being like, dude, I would totally just if you had a pussy, I'd bang you. Like I have a pussy. Like all right, well I'm banging you. Like if I had a pussy all of a sudden, you banging me? Would you be able to get?
No, because I mean yes, but no.
Did you say yes just to make sure I wasn't you didn't hurt my feelings? Well, I can't say no like that. He's like, well, come on, don't say it.
Oh God, no, no.
You just take out a gun, you blow your brains out all over your nice fucking thing. Like that's how you complete the madness.
Yeah, no, because it's an energy thing. Like I would fuck. All right, this is gonna sound a little weird, and I acknowledge that. Maybe I can do a little room of improvement here, possibly. But a post-op convincingly, woman, trans woman, I would fuck. Because it's an energy thing. It's an aesthetic thing.
Right.
Men are very visual in what they're attracted to.
Yeah.
So
and also it's hearing as well.
Yes.
So if
you don't want to be like, I got rid of the glizzy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like the voice is there. There's
I want a feminine energy.
Have you seen Horace and Pete? It's Louis.
Yeah.
So there, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but there's
that one scene, where she's like, well, what if I was a man?
Yeah, and you still don't know. Like at the end of the whole episode whether that was a guy or a girl. So for everyone that's listening, there's a episode of Horace and Pete, Louis' show. You can get on his website, and he doesn't even jerk off on you or nothing. But it's a really awesome dark comedy. And there's one scene where Louis C.K. brings back a woman who he has sexual relations with, and then the next morning they're having breakfast and they're talking about it, and she's like, "What if I was a transsexual?" But I'm a woman now, and he's saying how it would be fucked up for her to to not tell him. What do you think? So you're saying right now, what you're saying you're saying
if you made my dick hard, let's go.
Right?
Like I'm not too worried about the social stigma of it, but I feel like it's not a popular opinion to say that like I want to feel that you're more woman than anything else.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to be convinced.
Yeah, it's got to be convinced. Yeah.
And if I found out afterwards and, like, we had great sex.
Yeah.
And, like, you got me fucking hard, I'm like, yo, fuck yeah. I don't give a shit.
Right.
I think that's my genuine feeling towards it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I do. It's weird because when I first watched that video or that episode, I remember, like, that was, 3 years ago when it first came out? So I started rewatching it. When I first started watching it, when I saw that part when he's like, Louis getting like, well, you have to obviously tell the person that you've had a sex change. And she's like, why? You got hard. Like, do I have to ask you? Like, if you were a dude or a guy beforehand, I don't have to ask you because I know you're a guy. You should know I'm a girl whether I switched or not. And then, like, for the first time I heard it, I'm like, nah, you probably should have to tell him. And then the second time, I'm like, I'm kind of with you. I'm like, if you get it hard and I fuck it, then, that's on me.
Yeah, because I feel like no one should give someone shit for not wanting to fuck someone like that because you can't give someone shit for not wanting to fuck something.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, I don't think there should be any weird stigma towards it. If like, yo, if that lady gets your dick hard, let's fucking rock, dude.
Right, yeah.
Fuck it.
Like you can't call rape. Like she had sex with me, but that was before I knew it was almost kind of like it used to be a guy. It's like none of that shit matters anymore. I don't know. I think a lot of it. I think more, like in the moment, I think I wouldn't have wanted anyone to find out, or it would upset me because I feel like it's something that you'd get like looked at for being gay for.
Yeah.
And now it's less so. Even though it would be, if I wouldn't want to know beforehand. I think that would still throw me off. Unless, like we talked about, it
really,
was something where I'm like, oh, this doesn't. You were
really.
Like, you convinced me, like God sent you down as the wrong gender.
It depends on the aesthetic, dude. Yeah. Because there's different levels to this shit in terms of trans. Like, all right, so there's weight or bodybuilders that do competitive lifting, and they're
Paul Carson
very much like looking dudes, but they identify a certain way and they're breaking records. Yeah. I'm not gonna fuck that person because they identify as a woman. But there's certain ones where I look at them, I'm like, all right, for sure,
right.
And I can't if they have a dick. I just can't do it.
No, you're right.
If they have a pussy designed by science, you know where to find me.
Well, I mean, to defend you even more, like, you wouldn't fuck those muscle dudes. There's also females that do the same shit. You probably wouldn't fuck them with a pussy, would you? Like,
wait, sorry.
There's like, there's weightlifting, like, women's category as well as the men's that you're talking about. Would you be interested in any of those women?
Probably not.
With those big ass muscles. That's what I'm saying.
Probably not. Like, and that's just a preference thing. I hope they get dick down to the fullest, dude, but it's just not for me.
Fucking angry sex, like two of big muscle people.
Yeah,
having muscle sex,
just getting fucked with anchor arms.
That sounds painful. Blow me. No, not that. My arm's going thin.
I'm going to the juice bar.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's good to be in person, dude. It's good to be in person talking about whether you'd bang me or not.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice that we waited to the episode where we were live to talk about if I whipped out a pussy? Well, guess what, Rob? I don't have one yet.
If you like transition and took the hormones and stuff, I would hit.
Would you put a finger in right now though? If I was like, yo, just check out my. Like, this almost turned into a vagina. If this was a vagina, I'd be like, yo, go ahead. Put a finger in there.
Not yet.
No?
But if you took the hormones, lost, like, the facial hair, and
This is
you did, like, the wings with, like, your eyes, I would be like, yo, fucking Carly's looking like a whole snack because that's going to be your new name.
I'll tell my sister.
Oh, yeah.
She does looks like that already. No, that's nice to hear, man. I wouldn't bang you. There's no transition for you. I don't see it in your future.
Yeah, I'm a hard one. I'm a hard transition.
What would you do? What would you go with? You go like, how would you? You're like,
well, I would go wig for sure.
But can you even? Is there a hormone pill to get rid of a beard like that? Like, or is that like? Is it usually already less of the hormone in the system? That's why they have like less hair. Am I
don't know how it works.
I don't by accident right now by saying that I don't have a beard.
What?
Am I admitting that I might be transsexual by admitting that I don't have a beard? Wait, no.
No, I don't think so. I think you're good.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Can only handle.
You kind of look like the singer to The Darkness.
Who's that?
I believe in a thing called love. This is stuff for my heart.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what I live by. Man.
Shall we?
We shall.
Shout out to the real ones. Yeah. Thanks for watching, baby.
Yeah, shout out, Coach. Yo, put that the rabies bunny in that person's mailbox and let him bite him.
All right.